Tell me in the comments what was the greatest physical pain that you've ever felt. Mine was when I broke my arm when I was 10 years old. But I doubt they blew off one of your limbs. Like, let's talk about this bizarre and very good episode of Gen V now. Theories and more. Just don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, it helps us a lot, and let's talk about Gen V's episode 4. We will basically have two cores in this episode where we have one side Sam and Emma escaping from the forest complex, and on one side all the other teenagers suffer from that bizarre interview they had, and let's talk about them first. First, we have that bizarre part from the episode where Marie will try to find her friend, right? And then she remembered that she's in a school where there are hundreds of people with superpowers, so there's definitely someone who could have the ability to find her. And she finds Rufus, who debuts in the powerful. He has psychic powers like controlling the mind. He can find people too. He's almost like a Charles Xavier. But instead of using his powers for good, he uses them to knock her unconscious and try to abuse her. And then she shows her amplified powers, which I think was one of the most agonizing things a human being can feel. Did I feel sorry for him? Of course not. But having your, let's say, sexual organ exploded, it's not super pleasant. She was basically aware that if she concentrates or has some dangerous situation, she can control that person's blood flow to the extreme level. In other words, where I could even see that she could even be on par with the vice president who blows people's head, but I think for more specific things, then she could actually be able to kill Homelander. Then Jordan appears and rescues Maria, and they develop that troubled relationship they have, but little do they know that their main concern will be with one of the most idiotic characters the series has had so far, which is Tech Knight. If you've read the comics from The Boys, the character is different in this show. The character is different in this show. In the comics, he's a parody of Batman and Iron Man, where he's a person who has no powers, but he's super rich. So he basically has the armor from Iron Man and a butler like Batman, and a lot of money like both of them. But in the series, Tech Knight is a super who uses his heightened senses to solve crimes in the TV show, like different TV shows where you see around. And he arrives on campus with the mission of solving the death of Golden Boy. But there is one detail: being the universal the boys, of course, this is only part of the story. The truth is that he uses the supposed investigation to point out someone to blame and divert attention from the real culprit, which is Vol. Even though the investigation is fake, it serves to bring a different dynamic to the episode, mixing detective work with reading body expressions and a pinch of reality show. His participation makes the production reminiscent of series such as CSI or Lie to Me, something that works especially due to Wilson's performance, which has the talent necessary to the character to be detestable in a charismatic way. Tech Knight's research for the supposed truth affects the other protagonist of the series after he reveals to the Dean that he is there to find the scapegoat. The chapter is dedicated to the suspense of who will be chosen to take the blame. The first major suspect is Andre, who is taken for a film interrogation with his father, feeling guilty about Emma's disappearance and furious about Golden Boy's death. The young man freaks out when asked about having slept with Kate, his late girlfriend's girlfriend. Furious at the situation that betrayal caused Luke's death, Andre rails against Tech Knight and also against his own father, a supposed hero who doesn't help anyone even with so much prestige. And obviously he reaches Marie herself and basically makes her believe that in fact the one who killed Golden Boy wasn't her, and that in fact Jordan who did it. She was the only person who had the ability to stop him, which she did. And now she sees her with better eyes, making them have like that kissing scene and making me feel a little bit jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But then Tech Knight messes with the wrong person when he decides to blame the college director at the end of the day. Unlike the students, she has no powers, but she has a cooler power, which is that of influence, where first she discovers that he has a giant brain tumor, like in the comics. This caused him to have bizarre behaviors like a fetish for holes, like any hole. Whether it's a bathroom dryer for a tree trunk, this makes him have this behavior. Is basically she was going to leak videos of him doing those crazy things and he was going to lose his credibility, causing him to leave the scene, which was brilliant, which also makes her a complete asshole. And now for Sam and Emma, we can see from the episode that they have a very strong relationship. They managed to create a very strong connection. Obviously, also because they had to survive to get out of the forest. Despite that, I would have liked to have seen them fighting. It was definitely to save budget. We also see the connection he has with psychic illness. I don't know if he already had those illnesses before going to the forest and he developed there, or that was the reason that made him go there to be contained or studied. But we see that he's suffering from these diseases, and he sees on television a children's TV show in this universe that is made by those weird puppets when we see them in the trailer killing people. What I believe will happen at some point in the series is that he will kill some people, and we will see him at the lens of a doll, and it will definitely be funny as this series really manages to bring this incredible visual identity. And obviously we have to draw a parallel between him and Black Noir himself, who, if you remember, also had the psychological issues of seeing things, especially those drawings and cartoons that probably refers to his childhood, where he visualized things from the past and even things from the present, like with this vision of mentally disturbed person. Why he was released to be part of the Seven? Probably because he was as strong as hell. And we don't know, but it could be that he spent some time there inside the forest and just left. Then Sam goes to Dr. Cardozo's house, where you see that fight of heroes everywhere, and I'm going to point out some of them. Firstly, Jordan is really strong. He's versatile to face basically any hero, both projecting a hero away and resisting the blows. And when you need to fight him, you have to do some editing work because you have to change the actors at the time of action, so it needs to be well done. Andre knows how to control his metal power well, but he has to evolve that to be like a Magneto. And Kate, if she doesn't shy away from touching someone, she's as useful as I am in a fight like this. But the highlight was certainly Emma, who I said would probably be able to grow, since if she vomits, she shrinks, if she eats a lot, she becomes gigantic, and then that conversation she had with her mother makes even more sense. In the first episode where she had to control her hunger, she should probably eat and consume her food very quickly, and that she doesn't get like 3 meters tall. And there she really manages to control Sam, showing that she has the potential to be a top 5 hero. But she won't be, perhaps because of her need to transform, she has to undergo very painful preparation. And then it goes to the mystery of the next episode, which is what happened so that they were erased from the middle of nowhere and woke up in another place without remembering anything. We see this in the trailer for the next episode where Marie is wondering why this happened. So some theories go that from the moment they were at the doctor's house, he may have managed to call some hero who could have the ability to erase their memories and send them home. Another theory that I think might be more plausible is that they use Rufus himself, since he has already demonstrated that he has this type of ability, so I don't think it's difficult for him doing that. But then it's a little less likely, because how did he know that Marie was at the doctor's house unless they have a connection? But I think that will be an answer for the next episode. And please say in the comments if you like the episode, if you like the video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any other next videos, and I will definitely see you on the next video and of course on the next review. So goodbye and peace.